The hosts and guests on Everything's Messy podcast are not licensed healthcare professionals. The discussions in our episodes are not personalized medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider for medical guidance. Never delay seeking professional medical advice or emergency assistance because of our podcast. We encourage consulting with a healthcare professional before making any significant health changes. By listening to our podcast, you agree to the disclaimer. Thank you for listening to Everything's Messy podcast. Hey, welcome to Everything's Messy podcast, where we celebrate the beautiful but messy life experiences that most, if not all, people go through. Get ready to embark on an exciting journey through the raw and unfiltered stories of everyday people. Here, we dive into messy realities of life, from making messy mistakes to triumphs and everything in between. Are you sensing a theme? That's right, it's messy. But this just isn't about the mess. It's about finding strength and resilience in the midst of it all. We'll explore how health, fitness, and wellness play a crucial role in navigating life's twists and very messy turns. And we'll challenge conventional systems, because sometimes the most unconventional paths lead to the greatest discoveries. Join us as we embrace the messy, beautiful, and endlessly fascinating stories. Each episode is a testament to the power of our messy journeys and the beauty that emerges from the mess. So grab your favorite beverage, coffee, sparkling water, whatever it may be, and prepare to be inspired. Are you ready? Let's get messy. Hey, Messy Warriors. Welcome back to yet another episode of Everything's Messy podcast, because everything is messy. This is episode 123, December 17th. We are, oh my gosh, in just full swing, wonderful Christmas season holidays. I love it. I'm not going to lie, I miss my kids when they were younger and just the different magic it brought. But I will say, as they're older, they're still magic. And I just love that. It's my favorite time of year. I love being nostalgic. I love, just looking at the Christmas lights. It's one of my all-time favorite things to do. Most of the time, depending if you're just going around the neighborhood, it doesn't cost anything, but there are bigger, spectacular shows that have all the lights. But twinkly lights are just so joyful for me. I love them so much. Doesn't take a lot to impress me, I guess. So I've got my Someone's Been Naughty shirt with Santa winking on, because somebody's been naughty. Not gonna name names, me. Uh, but I just love this time of year so much. I love like I said, the nostalgia, the traditions, and it's a time for reflection. It's a time for great food. It can be a time for stress. I promise I won't cry this episode, but I am going to get messy. I am going to get super messy. So today I am talking about, first, because we're talking about, my subject today is seasonal eating and what system of the body that the seasonal eating helps. So talking about that, I'm going to mention my Primal Queen liver supplement on top of female hormone organ supplement. It's my only affiliate link for Everything's Messy. I do hope to get more, but I have to say I'm very, very specific about the products that I am willing to put my name on. I'm in the wellness space, and there are so many things that I just could, sign up for and get a link, but I'm not going to not only do that to myself and my integrity, I'm not going to do it for you guys. I want to be very clear that when I recommend a product, I not only have taken it myself, but I believe in what it's doing, and I believe that it's safe. That's one of those three things that is just so huge to me. The only other product that I've ever mentioned that I actually put my name on, even though I do not have affiliate link, but I stand by this product, and that is the progesterone cream that I use by LifeFlow. And I just, again, I don't have an affiliate link for it, but if you know, you know. And so that is all I will say about that. But if you do want to try Primal Queen, just put messy into the checkout. And I also have a link on my Instagram, and it's on my website. Just click the link, it'll automatically give you the discount. And just let me know if you like it or enjoy it. So Primal Queen beauties all the way. Shout out to Primal Queen, just because, yes, again, I put my name on it, but I do love the product, seriously, and I do think it helps. So that part is done. We are taking care of housekeeping and business, so that part is done. And we are going to shift into today's episode, which I've got all of these notes, and I just want to make sure I deliver them in a really good way, because I want you guys to get this. So our Creator, right? God has given us everything that we need on this earth to survive. Period. End of. He, created everything. He created all the food. He created the seasons. He created the animals. So everything that we need, the herbs, the spices, all of these things, he put here for our use to give us homeostasis in our body, basically, right? And this is really big in traditional Chinese medicine, and there is a lot of information about this. But I'm just going to simplify it into a way that, yes, I believe the Creator has given us and prepared us to have all of these things. I think traditional Chinese medicine does a good way of breaking it down, but I only take it so far, and that's just me. That's my faith. But I still think the information that TCM puts out is very, very important. I do think it marries with what my faith says and how we go about it. I want you to know where I'm coming from. So there are a lot of things that I would throw down to talk about TCM. And then there's some other things that I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe. But one of them is eating seasonally and what part of the body is each season affecting, meaning what should we be concentrating on to sort of clean our body or get rid of the toxins, or what extra fuel does it need based on the seasonal food. Now, again, you want to eat strawberries all year long? Great. It is what it is. Blueberries all year long? It is what it is. But just remember, they don't have the amount of nutrients that they might have if they're not in season. Doesn't mean you can't eat them. Not going to tell you can't do it. I'm just explaining to you that the best nutrient version of it is going to be when it's in season, period. So when we take that, and we're just going to start with spring and go down. Spring, according to TCM, is the wood element, right? It is a time of rebirth, expansive energy. And what system of the body might that be linked to? It's going to be linked to your liver and your gallbladder. Now, I'm going to go on a tangent just for a second. So I'm in the wellness space, and there are many, many influencers in the wellness space. And the term that I hear repeated over and over and over and over again is detox the liver, detox the liver, detox the liver. Okay. And again, I am the black sheep. I don't play by the rules that people make. My dad can attest to this. I don't listen to the rules that people make. My mom and dad both, and my stepmom can attest to this. I question everything. I try to buck everything. I just am cantankerous, and I'm skeptical of everything, period. So one of the things that I'm skeptical about is the verbiage, detox the liver. If you know about the human body, if you've learned about the human body, if you've taken anatomy and physiology of the body, you know this very simple thing. What does the liver lead into? Anybody? The liver leads into the small intestine. Okay? Therefore, you cannot detox the liver. I'm just going to leave that there. You can hate me, send me, emails. I'm wrong. Great. I welcome those. Nothing spurs me on better than telling me I'm wrong, because as an Aquarius, and I don't put a whole lot of merit into astrology, but some of the traits as an Aquarius, I am telling you, I fit them to a T. And one of them is, I already think that you're not telling me the truth, and I'm going to go do my own investigation. So, cannot detox the liver. I know that's messy. I can hear all of the influencers. Oh my gosh, what is she talking about? You cannot detox the liver. Here's why. What does the liver do? The liver holds blood. In the liver holds our blood. The liver then cleans the blood and sends it on its way. The liver does the detoxing. There's nothing you can eat or drink to do more. What we are supposed to do, this is where it gets confusing. And so I can hear a lot of people saying, well, that's what they mean. That's not what they say. See, I try to very much say what I mean and mean what I say. And what you need to be mindful of, the liver holds the blood. It holds our blood, cleans it, sends it on to the small intestine. Here is what it gets missed. Again, if you took a basic, A&P class, if you took a basic physiology class, if you just had the basics, if you remember, if you're a Gen Xer like me and you remember regular science class and you remember cooking class and you remember all of the home ec classes, then you probably remember having this, chapter that you had to do. The liver has to course the blood. Okay. It's very, very important that you hang on to that verbiage, course the blood. So spring being the time of concentrating on the liver and the gallbladder, what do we see popping up in the springtime to help us course the liver? Meaning the blood is going to course through the liver stronger, and that's how we're going to get a cleaner liver. Not detoxed, but clean. And I realize some people are like, well, detox does mean clean. Detox means you're trying to eliminate whatever you think is in your body. This is making your liver cleaner. Okay. I don't want to get rid of the blood in my liver. And we can't, because the liver empties into the small intestine. So you're not getting rid of anything. Again, go get a medical look. But we want to encourage it to course the blood through the liver. So again, what do you see when you walk out in the springtime? What starts to be everywhere? Usually weeds. Well, what is in those weeds? One of the best things that we can support our liver with. Now, I don't encourage going and picking this particular weed, especially if it's been sprayed with glyphosate or anything like that. You want to make sure you get a food grade, commercial, organic blend to do it. But what do we see everywhere? Dandelions. Dandelions are everywhere, right? What else do we see everywhere? Thistle, which then we can make milk thistle. So dandelion tea, milk thistle, these are things that we are supposed to be eating to help our liver course the blood and support it. We know it's in season because here it is in the springtime. This is what we should be concentrating on. Now, I can hear everybody going, oh my God, you said milk thistle was estrogenic. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. And if you're taking it all year round in a supplement form, you're not doing good for your body. If you're actually able to find a organic milk thistle tea, something, and teas are very tricky because there's lots of mold and toxins in those bags. So you have to be very careful what you're doing, but maybe find it as organically as you can, steep it and make your own tea. Same with the dandelions. That is what we're supposed to be doing for our liver health in the spring. That is so important that we not only understand you cannot detox the liver. Again, gasp, Sarah's being so messy. Yeah, I don't care. Now, we also know that the foods that sort of come into season on top of the weeds that we just discussed are sour foods. Why are sour foods important? It helps us push it through the gallbladder. It helps digestion. It's all these things, right? It helps the liver to, again, cleanse, not detox. Let's be very careful about this. All right, so you have lemons, limes, grapefruit, fermented foods like sauerkraut. They all have astringent properties that support cleansing it, not detoxing it. You cannot detox it. Let's just throw that word away. Oh, and caveat to the dandelion and milk thistle. This is another thing that we need to be very concentrated on. The digestive system has a hard time breaking down and using any nutrients coming from cold foods. This is going to be another thing that people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you're talking about. That's okay. I know my truth. I believe in what I believe. Juicing. Let's talk about juicing. The smoothies, the big time smoothie trend that seems to be everywhere. When you are eating for your nutrients super cold foods, not only is it harder for your body to digest, it gets rid of most of it, and you're not getting any of the nutrients that you just paid for that expensive smoothie, which is why hot lemon water, hot tea, all of these things are so much better for not only for gaining the nutrients that we need, but for our digestive system. So that's just a mini rant, if you will. So anyway, again, spring is helping the liver course the blood. and cleanse it with these special foods. You also have ginger, olives, garlic, green onions. That helps with and we'll get winter will be our last season obviously that we go through, but what this does is it helps move all of that heavy food and soups and roast and just heavy pot roast, all this stuff. Those spices and herbs will help push all of that out, clean it up a little bit for elimination, because spring is what? Rebirth. We're ready to emerge from our hibernation. We're ready to get out and start the season over again. Some of us, it's been a long winter under snow. I don't subscribe to that. That's why I'm back in Southern California. But it's been, it's been cold, whatever. Now it's getting warmer. We want to kind of put this pep back in our step and give us these herbs to move forward. And again, because they're seasonal, again, yes, you can get them all year round, but the best time that they are at its peak is when it's seasonal. So again, ginger, chives, garlic, green onions, that helps everything, dispel lingering winter cold, all that, just get it out. All right. So now we go on to summer. I don't love summer, but I understand it. And of course, here in California, we have long summers. It's summer most of the year. That's okay. What we are trying to help in our body in the summertime is your heart and your small intestine. Heart and small intestine. And you want it to be light and cooling and hydrating and just support basically the electrolytes and the fluid that we have in our body. That's what we do summer for. That's why we're in the water. That's why we're moving more. School's out. We're doing all kinds of activities, going to the beach, going to the lake, playing more golf, whatever it is. Summer is just a very active time for us. Again, unless it's like 112. Okay, maybe it's not so active. But because it's warmed up, because we've been, kind of cooped up for so long, we are moving and stepping and grooving with summer. And so we are looking for the heart and the small intestine. We're looking to support the heart in the summer. So we want to make sure we're eating cooling foods. What is one thing, one memory, I know I have it, of what summer brings? Watermelon. I love watermelon. Now, can you get watermelon year round? You sure can. Do they taste as good on off season? I don't think so. I don't want to say I'm lucky, but I am fortunate to be in a state where we do have fairly good produce. It's fairly decent. We grow a lot of it out here, and you can tell the difference of something that maybe comes from Chile in February. Again, you can get it. And if you have that hankering, you've got it. Or a fresh watermelon from a, farmer's market, or, you have it growing. My neighbor has watermelons growing in her backyard, and it just tastes so much better in season because why? It's working with our body. Love watermelon. What else? Cucumber. Oh, love cucumber. And how hydrating are both of these? Watermelon, cucumber, super hydrating. So we want to be eating that. What is the number one drink that has been kind of inspired for summer? It's cucumber and mint water. Everywhere you go, you got people putting in the fresh mint and putting in the slices of cucumber. Why? Because that's what our body is craving for summer. And then you have tomatoes. Not a lover of tomatoes. I sort of have an aversion to nightshades. My body doesn't respond to them, but I can appreciate a beautiful ripe tomato, maybe grown in the backyard, that has flavor and it's juicy. And oh my gosh, a fresh cucumber tomato salad. Like, these are all cooling, hydrating foods that are supporting the systems in our body of the heart and the small intestine, right? So then they kind of split summer into two. You have early summer and you have late summer. So late summer is what TCM refers to as the earth element, and it is relating to the spleen and the stomach. So we're focusing on digestion and stability. Foods should be mild, mildly sweet, and earthly to strengthen the digestive system. So this is where we're working on the spleen and the stomach. So what comes into season in the late summer? You've got chickpeas, apricots, cantaloupe, again, still hydrating. You've got sweet potatoes, squash, and carrots. And then you have some sweet foods like dates and honey. Okay. If you listened last week, I did a whole thing on honey. I support the bees. We need the bees. Really quick. If you suffer from seasonal allergies, you go and you purchase a local honey at like the farmer's market or whatever. It's actually going to give you a way to combat your histamine that rises when we suffer from these allergies. The bees do all that for us. You just got to find the right honey. It has to be local. And that is going to help, again, the allergies. We're supporting the spleen by eating the earthy vegetables, the mildly sweet foods, which I don't consider dates too sweet. I mean, they do have others that they sugar up or whatever, but that supports us. And then, of course, the honey. So that is super important. And you're supporting your heart. I'm sorry, you're supporting your spleen and your stomach. And it's helping your digestive system, right? So that's a good thing. Okay, so now on to autumn or fall, as some refer to. That is the metal element. So what do we always say? We look at hunters, gatherers, animals, nature. What is happening in the autumn? They are gathering and they're turning inward, right? And this is affecting the lungs and the large intestine. So now we're focusing on, I hate this word. I hate this word. I hate it. The M foods. And for those of you who know me, you can figure out what the M means, because we're trying to counteract the season's dryness. Because what happens? The humidity goes away. It's now colder temperatures. Our skin's feeling a little dry, so it's becoming dry. What's the opposite of dry? You figure that out. So it's affecting our lungs. It's affecting our large intestine. So now we're switching to pears. We know pears come into season in the autumn. We also have almonds. We also have the radish, ginger, and onion that stimulates the lungs and it clears out the phlegm. That's a fun word, phlegm. And then we have walnuts and black sesame seeds. And then what do we have for autumn? Pumpkin, right? This is why around Thanksgiving, everybody wants pumpkin pie. Now, the pie is probably not good for you, but pumpkin is in season, and this is how we should be eating based on our seasonal thing. And as we do this, it's helping our lungs, like I said, clear out the junk. And we're turning inward because it's starting to get colder, so we've probably not become as active as we were in the summer, or at least out doing activities, staying late until 9 o'clock and things like that. So now we're going into, soon the time will change. And again, I know people hate the time change. I'm not here to discuss that, just to be eating seasonally with our body. Okay. And then the last one, winter. Winter is a water element. So it is for storage and for rest. Storage and for rest. I've already talked about this a little bit. That doesn't mean I don't want you to work out. That doesn't mean I don't want you to move. It just means to maybe slow down a little bit and just rest in your body. More breathing exercises, more walking maybe. Again, I'm not telling you don't lift. I'm not telling you don't do your reps. Just saying maybe modify it a little bit and just give your body to have that recovery and that rest. Okay? So this affects this season, winter, affects the kidneys and the bladder. Also another fun word. You're trying to conserve energy and build strength. Conserve energy, build strength. We are trying to, not in the extreme way that bears do, but hibernate in a sense for our bodies to be able to rest and recover. So we want soups, stews, bone broth. Again, I'm a huge proponent of bone broth. I do eat it all year round. I just think it's so nutrient dense and it has so much protein. Do with that what you will. But again, you can drink your bone broth in the morning as like your coffee, tea, things like that. That's what I do because I don't drink any coffee. So bone broth, bone broth, bone broth. Then you have the potatoes, the parsnips, the winter squash. All of that is in season. All of that is going to help your kidneys, maybe flush some toxins out, things like that. You're going to have your black beans, kidney beans, your dark leafy greens, and that is all kidney nourishment. Kidney. And lamb, beef, and chicken, of course, are your warming proteins. So to feel warm, we're going to want to eat more of these heavy stews and things like that. Now, for me personally, I do eat beef all year round, and that is what I choose to do. But it's helping us a better, or it's more nutrients for us. We're grabbing onto it more in the winter time as we're supporting our kidneys. So I just love, okay, like I said, I love Christmas. I love this time of year. I do love the soups and the roasts and the favorites that come with this time of year. I think there's nothing wrong with looking at what seasonal food is coming out and knowing we're supporting a certain part of our body. I think we might benefit from trying to only eat seasonally, as so our body knows what nutrients we need. We should surprise it every once in a while. We should get it to have the things that it needs seasonally. And again, we have been provided by our Creator, and He has supplied us with all these things. Yes, I understand it has to do with region, how you can get it. The best time to do that is when they are in season. So I just wanted to do that, especially because it's getting cozy, it's getting fun, it's getting close to Christmas. We need to be storing our energy right now. We need to get ready for that spring that is coming. And the way we do that is rest. And again, that is a big piece. And that is why people don't like this, but that's partly now. Yes, we all have jobs. We all have to get up. I understand it's a pain when you get up and it's the light is not what you want it to be. I get that. But this is actually how our bodies are designed to live in nature with these things and the components that we have been given by God. So I think these things are fascinating. I think we can learn a lot. Try it. Just try one. Just try and see. Again, I don't think it's bad that you want strawberries or blueberries all year round. I just think it might be beneficial to only be eating them, or more beneficial to only be eating them when they are in season. And depending on where they come from, they're coming from other countries that are being imported. Look, I know it's expensive. Trust me. And not everybody has time to go to the farmer's market that's only once or twice a week and to find all the things you need. Like, it's hard. I get it. It's nice to be able to go to the grocery store and just get what you need and not have to worry about it. But maybe try just one. Maybe just try the honey. Maybe just try the dandelion. Maybe just try, whatever it is in season. Maybe just try one thing and just see. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it and what you think about all this, because, again, I find it fascinating. I think we should follow some sort of this. If there's a reason for it, it makes sense. But everything in balance, in moderation. Obviously, if you need to pivot, which is pivot and shift and find your own way. And again, what works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. I do wish all of you just a wonderful, wonderful Christmas season right now. I will be doing just a very short recording for Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and I will be back in 2026 with more mess and controversy and fun. And I'm so incredibly joyful and happy that I've got my messy warriors with me. We will have great guests next year. We will have, just the best messy conversations. And as long as we continue to find our strength through that mess, that's all we can do. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, enjoy your season, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening to Everything's Messy podcast. Whew, if you made it this far, give yourself a gold star or at least a nap. Honestly, if you showed up today and you were listening, you've already crushed it. I'm so grateful for you listening. If anything hit home, share it, tag me, write it on a sticky note. I don't care. Just don't keep all of this messy goodness to yourself. You can find me on Instagram at Everything's Messy Wellness or over at my website, everythingsmessywellness.com, where I've got resources, coaching, and probably a new rant about blood sugar or something that's just nonsense. It's all waiting for you. Check out my YouTube channel. I've got all of my podcast episodes up there. And I'm on X at Everything's Mess. Or if you just want to send me an email, Sarah at everythingsmessywellness.com. Look, until next time, hydrate, take no crap, and as always, keep it messy.